Hello, welcome everybody to day 4 of water safety classes. All right, my name is Miss Frank. My name is Patricia Frank. I work for St. Augustine Prep, and I also work and run a nighttime swim lesson program in Milwaukee and a weekend program that's called Schrader Swim School. We do lessons for the community and the surrounding areas at both places, and our goal is to make every kid in Milwaukee water safe. That is our goal. All right. Hopefully we can complete that and help you guys can help us complete that. All right. So today we are going over life jackets, why you wear them, how you wear them, and when you would wear them. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen and set it up so that you guys can enjoy the show. All right. All right. So I have two fun pictures that I added into our screen today. It is of some of the kids at St. Augustine Prep in Milwaukee, and they have been doing swim lessons with me for a while. They love safety days in the pool because they get to learn all kinds of fun new things, and that goes with some of their swim classes that they have during the day. All right, going back to my motto, be safe while always having fun around water. That's our goal, right? Life jackets are sometimes fun to wear, sometimes they aren't, depending on the person that you are, okay? So our first thing we're gonna go over is underwater blackouts. They're also known as hypoxic blackouts, okay? Sometimes you guys will see in pools this bright yellow sign that says no long breath holding. Basically, that's telling you guys if you hold your breath for too long underwater, you're eventually going to black out and pass out underwater. Okay. We aren't fish. We have to come up for air. So eventually you guys, the goal is to not hold your breath for too long. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys an example. What is the difference between fainting on land versus fainting in the water? Does anybody know? Yeah, on land, if you guys faint, you're going to fall to the ground, and then hopefully, eventually, you'll wake back up on your own, right? You don't need anything else. You'll just wake back up. The difference in the water, if you faint, you're going to go under and sink to the bottom. You're going to wait for somebody to hopefully find you and rescue you. If they don't, you're going to drown because you aren't going to just wake up. Your lungs are going to fill with water and you'll stay at the bottom until somebody rescues you. Okay. So this is why it's important to swim with a buddy, but also have a lifeguard there that can see you sink to the bottom and know you're in danger and they can come and rescue you guys. Okay. So that's the difference between underwater blackouts. That's what's the difference between fainting on land versus fainting in the water. Okay. All right. Continuing with the underwater blackouts, a shallow water blackout is an underwater faint due to a lack of oxygen to the brain brought on by holding your breath for long periods of time. Without immediate rescue, the swimmer can quickly drown. Okay, so a shallow water blackout is usually most common among physically fit swimmers, spear fishermen, and free divers. Physically fit swimmers, especially because in the swimming world and swim team, we as coaches are constantly telling people to try to hold their breath longer. Okay. The goal is we want you to hold your breath longer, but we also want you guys to know the difference between holding your breath for too long and holding your breath just long enough so that you can come up and breathe. Okay. Some of the common signs of knowing you're about to black out is seeing stars, seeing blackness, feeling dizzy, feeling like you have no energy left, feeling like you're starting to feel sick. All of those are signs that you're probably about to faint in the water. Okay. Tips for preventing shallow water blackouts are never hyperventilate. You don't want to take those short, shallow breaths. You want to take nice, long, deep breaths when you're out of air. So you want to take a really long breath in and then out. Try to get the air back into your lungs to make you feel better. Okay. Never ignore the urge to breathe. If you guys have to breathe, breathe. Okay. This goes with all sports. If you guys are having trouble breathing, tell your coach so you guys can rest for a second and then come back too. Because none of the coaches are going to want you guys to pass out because that's going to delay practice times and it can hurt you. So they want you guys to be able to breathe. Some people have asthma, so they need to take a little longer breaths, right? Never swim alone. That goes back with always swim with a buddy. And then never play breath holding games, okay? You don't want to sit there and play who can go under the water the longest. I know a lot of kids actually do this one, but eventually you guys got to come up and keep taking some deep breaths before you guys try to play that game again, okay? The most dangerous risk for shallow water blackouts are repetitive, competitive, prolonged breath holding laps with little rest in between. So basically when you're on swim team, you're doing so many of these really fast 25 sprints where you're not breathing. You got to take some rest in between eventually, so you don't black out. Okay, those are shallow water blackouts, and hopefully you guys understand the difference now. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is life jackets. So as you guys can see on the left side of my screen, there is 5 different types of life jackets, okay? The most common life jackets you guys will see are type 1, type 2, and type 3. All of the ones on the top are the most common ones that most facilities and pools have, okay? Type 4, that bottom right one or bottom left, is usually a sitting a cushion inside of a boat. That counts as a life jacket. It's something that floats, okay? And then the 5th one is usually for like open water swimmers or free divers. It's just a fanny pack that blows up into a life jacket. You can pull it out and it inflates itself, okay? The top 3 are the most durable ones that usually non-swimmers, those are the ones that they are going to want to use, okay? All of these life jackets are filled with a special type of foam on the inside so they don't pop or sink to the bottom on you guys, okay? So what is a life jacket? A life jacket is a personal flotation device known as a PFD, and it's also referred to as a life jacket, a life preserver, a life belt, a Mae West, a life vest, a lifesaver, a cork jacket, a buoyancy aid, or a flotation suit. It is a piece of equipment designed to assist a wearer to keep afloat in the water. The wearer may be either unconscious or conscious. So that's just saying if you pass out or you have a shallow water blackout, if you're wearing a life jacket, you're still going to stay on the top of the water because it's going to float you, okay? Some young kids refer to these as lifeguards. I've had that one too many times. They're just life jackets. I'm sure a lot of people have heard different sayings for what these things actually are. All right, so who has to wear a life jacket? By law, everybody on a boat must have a life jacket on board. It doesn't matter what age or ability of swimmer you are, it is the law. So in these pictures, it shows every type of life jacket and age that you guys would use. So if you can see in that top right picture, that's a toddler life jacket, and it has an extra neck support that goes around them so that it can hold their head up for them. It also has a rope that goes through their crotch so that it can't fly off the top of them, okay? The bottom right is a child life jacket, and it has 3 straps versus an adult's 1 strap, okay? And then the ones on the left are 2 different types of adult life jackets, okay? What and where can you wear a life jacket? Any place that has water in it, you can wear it. Some kids joke, okay, in the bathtub. Yeah, if you guys are nervous in the bathtub and your mom wants to make you feel more comfortable, wear the life jacket in the bathtub at first to get used to it, okay? It's never hurts. If you guys are uncomfortable or scared, wear the life jacket. So next one, when should you wear a life jacket? Anytime you guys are required by law or need to feel safe. It's your choice. Try to wear it. I know life jackets aren't the most comfortable. I myself don't like wearing life jackets because they kind of hurt my neck. But if you guys get taught the proper way, where you guys give yourself a hug and then jump in, it's a little more comfortable, okay? But it's always better, even if it's not comfortable, they're gonna save your life. So you should wear it, okay? Why should you wear a life jacket? It depends. Everyone might have a different reason to wear a life jacket, okay? And then the next 2 topics I'm gonna talk about. I always refer to Michael Phelps as one of my easy topics because everybody knows who Michael Phelps is. Props to him. He's pretty well known in even non-swimmer areas. So I always say if Michael Phelps, who's one of the best swimmers in the world, if he were to wear a life jacket, or if he's a really good swimmer, if he's on a boat and he's not wearing a life jacket and he hits his head and falls into the water, is he still going to be a good swimmer? No, because he's unconscious and he's all muscle and muscle sinks. So this is why even Michael Phelps should wear a life jacket on a boat, because it's safe. Even if you're a really good swimmer, if you get knocked out and fall into the water, you're not going to be a good swimmer. You're knocked out and you can't swim when you're unconscious. Okay. And then the other one is that is a big ship called the Titanic. Okay. So back in when the Titanic came around, they didn't have laws that made them be required to have so many extra boats on board and extra life jackets for everybody. Now, when you go on any big ship like that, it is required by law that they have enough life jackets for everybody on board. If that law was around when the Titanic happened and sunk, a lot more people would have survived than barely half the amount. Okay. A lot of those people sunk to the bottom because they were freezing cold, because there wasn't extra lifeboats, and there weren't enough life jackets for everybody. Okay, so this is why it's important for everybody on every boat to always have a life jacket for each person on there. Okay. All right. The next one, I'm going to show you guys a video that I made with some of my nieces and nephews. It is how to put a life jacket on, what sizes each life jacket are, and then what the help and the huddle position are. Okay. The help position keeps you warm and you go into a little ball, and the huddle position keeps you all close together.
All right, today's lesson is on life jackets and how to wear them, how to use them, and why we should use them. So the first thing, every life jacket has a different size. On the back, each one says their size and how much weight is. So this one is a child one, and this one is good for no more than 50 pounds. Okay? This one is a youth one, and again, it says it right on the back. This one is good for anywhere from 50 to 90 pounds, right? And then the last one. This one is an adult one, and I know this one is anything 90 pounds and over. So I don't care if you're 400 pounds, you can still float with this. But if you're smaller, you shouldn't be using these, okay? There is one more, and it's an infant one. That one has a neck rest, and it goes around their crotch and clips in, all right? If you have nothing else and you're an adult and you only have this tiny little child or youth one, you can use it. It will still help you float enough to survive. Hold on to it and hope that you survive because you didn't have the right size equipment, okay? All life jackets are supposed to be used on boats. If you are under a certain age for each state, you have to wear them anytime you're in any type of boat, okay? So we're going to show you guys how to put them on. So first thing, find the right size. I am an adult. I am more than 90 pounds. And first thing I'm going to do is put it on correctly, right? This isn't wearing it correctly. Putting it around here isn't right. A lot of kids try to put it on backwards like this. This isn't right. Turning it around still isn't right, okay? You want the straps on the outside, and you want your head to go inside, right? So the straps go around. They always go under the armpit so that they can't fly up when you're going in. So once it's on, you are strapping it on. And then you're tightening it as tight as it can go. Tightening it so that there is no extra room so it can fly up. Okay, this isn't going anywhere. If you're younger, they usually have 2 straps. So mine has 1, these have 2. The infants have 3. You're getting more protection because they know you're not as good of a swimmer. When you jump in, you want to make sure to give it a hug so that when you jump in, this doesn't hit your chin as you jump in, okay? So they're going to hug, and then they're going to jump in. We're going to show you guys 2 demos. One is going to be how to jump in, and then once they're in the water, we're going to show you guys how to do the help position and the huddle position. All right? All right. 5. For assistance, everybody grab a life jacket that is your size. Look to make sure that it's the correct size. Those should all be the right ones for you guys. Demo how to put it on correctly. I'm going to check before you guys are done. Make sure. Once you guys think you have it on correct, come over by me and I'll inspect it and make sure it's good. Alright. Isaiah's first. This should be a little bit tighter. Alright, you're good. Line up. Alright, you're good. Line up. Somebody wasn't watching a good demo. All right. And I'll go under the armpit, around the. I don't understand this. All right. And then we're flipping it in, making sure it's nice and tight. So when we jump in, everybody's going to make sure they give themselves a hug. You're jumping in and you're just floating on your back. So everybody's jumping in, facing the wall, facing the floor, right? When you jump in, make sure you guys give yourself a little bit more space. Make sure you guys give yourself a hug. And then jump in and float on your back. All right? 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Some kids freak out and they naturally go forward. Everybody go forward. See if you guys can go forward very easy. All right? Is it easier on your front or your back? It's easier on your back. Okay. The next thing I'm going to show is the help position. It is the heat escape lessening posture position. Okay? So you guys are putting yourself together. You're going into a really tight ball. And you're trying to keep all the heat from your body absorbed into it, okay? So this water's colder. They're putting their body together to try to keep themselves warm. They're staying like this as long as they can to try to keep their body heat within them, all right? This is the help position. The next one is the huddle position. We're all going to swim together and link elbows and stay like that. And the whole goal is that if you guys fall off the boat, all right, so go to the huddle. They're linking elbows all together in one swim. Yep. All right. The goal of this is to make sure that they can all stay together. They're also keeping themselves warm. And if a helicopter comes over to see, they're going to see one blob of orange together versus little spots of orange, okay? They will stay a lot warmer staying like this. So this is kind of the help and the huddle put together. All right, guys, good job. You can stop.
All right, so you guys saw that was how to put the life jackets on. Did you notice the one kid that wasn't listening as much and he couldn't figure out how to put that jacket on? That happens in at least one of my swim classes every day. And that's when you get a friend to help, or I realize and I help him figure out how to put it back on, right? All right, the next thing we are going to go over is kicking and front crawl. Front crawl is our first competitive stroke that you guys will learn how to do. Kicking. Why is the kick important? Swimming is a full body movement, and efficiency comes from developing coordination between your upper body and lower body. The kick provides stability, it improves body position and propulsion, and they're all components necessary for a more efficient stroke. The three main kicks that we would do is the flutter kick, the dolphin kick, and the breaststroke kick, right? The frog kick. A strong kick can win a race in swimming. If you guys don't have a strong kick, you're probably not going to win your race, okay? The three key facts are form, tempo, and transition while you're kicking. So as you guys can see, he is doing the flutter kick, and they're trying to show it in slow motion so they can show how they're doing small, fast kicks. He's not really bending his knees, and he's pointing his toes. If you kick flat-footed like that, your legs are going to sink or you're going to go absolutely nowhere. So you always want to have your toes pointed while you're kicking. All right? So it's using a lot of your quads and your hamstrings while you kick to get your propulsion moving. That is the flutter kick that they are showing right now. And then eventually you'll add the arms and swim fast with your tempo. All right, the next one is adding on your breathing. If you don't breathe to the side and breathe correctly, it's going to screw up your whole front crawl movement, okay? So when you're breathing, you do a side breathing. You're turning your head and you're breathing to the side. It requires practice to get it right. You keep one ear in the water when you turn your head to breathe. So as seen in this picture, he's turning his head to the side, and the side that's coming out to breathe, that opposite side is keeping your ear in the water. You can pick one side to breathe on, whichever feels more comfortable. Most people like breathing to the right side better. Don't breathe to both sides. every time. You will get very dizzy. All right, this video is just gonna show the basics really quick of how he's turning his head to take that breath, okay? So he's taking that breath, he's holding his breath when his face is looking down at the bottom. And then when he starts to turn to breathe, that's when he exhales, he blows the air out. So then when his face is out of the water, he inhales and he breathes in to catch his breath to keep going, okay? That is side breathing. And the last thing I'm going to show you guys is the front crawl put together. My son took a video of me underwater and above water so that I could demo what the above water view looks like to the underwater view. Okay, I'm going to try to show them both at the same time so you guys can kind of see what it looks like underwater and above water at the same time. So that is the front crawl, also known as the freestyle in swimming. You're swimming with your arms and your legs simultaneously at the same time while you're holding your breath. Now I just did a flip turn and a streamline off the wall. All right, that is the front crawl. All right, that was it for today. Now everybody can pull out their day 4 worksheets and start working on them. So remember, day 4 worksheets, your goal is to do some of the stuff we learned today. So you guys are, all of the worksheets are going over why it's important not to jump in, why to have a buddy, and then what we focused on today with life jackets, okay? It's gonna quiz you on the stuff I just talked about. If you guys don't have those worksheets, you can email me at schraderswimschool.com and I can get you guys some worksheets because the more people and kids we have that are water safe, the better in the world. All right, that's it for today. My name is Betka-Frank. I will see you guys for Water Safety Day 5. Have a great day.